Hey guys, so I was gonna do a video, just a quick reaction on the Nikola's earnings, not for the reason of me not following Nikola, having to do with it, but mainly a pulse on the industry and the fleets that are willing to adopt the BEVs. However, just recently, right now, Thomas Haley released a video, just giving us a really rudimentary and perfect explanation of how the math and the battery range and pretty much the capacity as a whole would work on a 100-mile trip divided in two or whatnot. So, and he used a couple of industry standards of 2 kilowatts per hours. And after all is said and done, is if you are doing a 50-mile trip, so both ways 100 miles, you really need a battery pack for 300 miles or more, right? So that kind of ties in with Nikola's lack of BEV sales. Obviously, there's more to it. It's not just due to the batteries. It has to do with marketing, management, has to do with charging, lack of charging infrastructure, the cost. So there's many components to it. But one of them being is the fleets simply do not like the model of BEVs because you cannot get what you're supposed to get. Sure, if you're doing small trips, like 50 miles or 100 miles, then a 300-mile range is going to help you. But if your daily route is 150 miles and you got to come back, the 300-mile battery pack, or even the Tesla's 500 so claimed, are not going to work. They're simply not going to work. And Thomas really indicated, brought up amazing points, very nicely summarized in a span of 5 to 7 minutes, giving a really good example of what fleets are being challenged with, and actually the infancy of the battery stage that we're at right now. So, looking at Nikola's lack of sales, it was extremely disappointing to see that they were only able to dish out 20 BEVs, and out of 20 did maybe 2 or 3 sell. And I had a couple of discussions with the Nikola investors, not in a negative way, just a healthy discussion, where if the fleets, or not the fleets, the dealers are purchasing BEVs, if they purchase 20, so let's say 10 dealers purchase 2 each, had they sold 20, they would have purchased 100 more or 150 more. But the thing is, they've sold 20 and there's no reorders, which means the BEVs are not being purchased, or not to the extent that the market would think they are. So Nikola is being faced with a big reality check of where they're going. Are they going to be selling BEVs? Because the fuel cells are not there yet, and they're not going to be there yet for another 5 to 7 years. So the whole path to profitability is extremely questionable to Nikola. But from my understanding is, I like to gauge a pulse on the BEVs, as in fleets, what they're willing to adopt. Are they willing to adopt BEVs? If they are, what type of fleets, the range, and whatnot. So what Hyliion has to offer is extremely unique. It reinforces the need of needing an onboard generator to give you the range. Otherwise, you're really stuck to the grid, and you're really stuck in a micro zones where you cannot haul your goods at all. So if you haven't watched Haley's video, the most recent video, please do. It'll give you an extremely good understanding of how the batteries work and what the fleets are being faced with, and how Hyliion will excel eventually once we enter production. Cheers.